founded in the ashes of World War II and built from one of the most famous Royal Air Force bomber airfields of the period, Silverstone Circuit is known as the home of British motor racing. But on July 5th, 2020, it's home to the latest round of the ESR GT3 series in Assetto Corsa Competizione. The battles are already heating up, so welcome everyone to Season 3. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cole McRae, and I am your host for today's ESR ACC GT3 series. Today we're joined by the venerable
Eric Tobin here.
Oh yeah, that's him. And today we fly out to Silverstone Raceway, as I mentioned earlier, and this is our third round of the series. There's a lot of drama on the table as we start with some problems.
A black hole basically engulfed the track multiple times. We've had to restart, but that has led us to a rather little frantic qualifying.
Everything's been sort of enveloped.
That said, even during this sort of improvised qualifying, everyone looks to be running about where they were. Aside from Lentini, who did not get a lap and previously did this time. A very good lap, so bonus for him.
Yeah, so it's just been a big old show of various words that I probably shouldn't say. But if we pull up our times...
Instead, I'm looking at it right here, so Lentini is first for Streppen, hot on his tail. And then Jeff, actually, good old Jeff jumped up into third right in front of Stoffmeal.
Yeah, little bitty Jeff. Kind of curious as to what lit the fire in his pants.
Benvenuti in fifth. Seen Higgs just gotten a good lap. He ran sixth. Nolasco, Arjona, Long, and Finn Esch brings out the top 10.
So we have
that Long, Esch, What, and Price seems like a common grouping we keep seeing together.
It really does. It really does. So we, in case you haven't been paying much attention, I don't blame you. I wouldn't have either. We have quite a few battles brewing for the championship. This is only our third race, but it's not too late to start speculating. Our leader, or our usual dominator, Mike Stoffmeal, and Max Lentini, the newcomer, are currently tied in the points with 123 points after 2 races, both finishing first and second once. Richard Higgs, which is actually Matt Higgs, if you look in the standings, is trailing them slightly in 6th, but he is caught firmly in a battle between Sean Kenny and Javier Eugeni. Wesley Stokes and Max Simmons, between 8th and 9th, are both tied with 55 points. Mika Watt not too far behind him, another newcomer with 53, and Javier Castaño with 52. So there's a lot that can go anyways. This is the first time really we've been seeing Mike Stoffmeal be challenged really at all by anyone. If we remember in Barcelona, the first race, Maxi had a pretty commanding lead for a while. That was certainly less the case in race 2 at Spa. But basically, it could go any way for anyone, and it frequently does. We have a bunch of newcomers. There is a few newcomers to this race, actually, as well. So, I'm going to butcher some of these names. Fair Murgiart, Michael Schneider.
Well, Mugiart was on the entry list, but he's actually not on. He's not set a time yet. Not seen him here.
Well, there are new entrants, and hopefully they show up. Also of note is the return of Javier Perez Torres. You can see him there in 24th place. Javier is here! He's made his triumphant return. And so we hope he can do well and maintain a good race for us.
Interesting. Well, we went over the top 10, although Max Simmons has bumped his way in there, moving Esch down to 11th. Afterwards, what do we have here? Looks like Watt, Price, Eugeni, Anderson, Castaño, Muniz, Stokes, Kenny got in a good lap there. He was struggling to fit any lap in with traffic. Butler and De Groot. Pick up the top 20. Of note, Di Gregorio and De Groot are not starting side by side because Di Gregorio is not here. I see, having lost to De Groot last week, it was finally settled. They have merged into one under the name of De Groot.
Seems like a good idea. Can I get an amen for there only being one Di Gregorio Groot? So now we don't have to keep the two separate. we can see in the upper right, Matt Higgs congratulating Christopher
Mm-hmm.
Streppin for his
Let's
fantastic
see,
podium
what
or
else
pole.
do we have? 21st, Magus, Naku, Barker, Javier Perez Torres, Pechia, Toledo, Hutchison, Hughes, Schirnthaner, Bigino, Nash, Burke, and Taylor ringing out in 33rd.
So
Like it was a struggling session for Hutchison. Although I gotta say, after last week when just complete chaos took down the team of Magus and Hutchison, I'm really betting those two just want to, complete the first lap.
right, that would not be that would be a worthwhile goal, I believe.
Yeah, but they're not doing themselves any favors qualifying 21st and 27th. That is not a friendly place to be.
Well, Wayne is no stranger to poor qualifying. I mean, he has the uncanny ability
Mm-hmm.
to weasel his way through the field, or weasel is probably the
Mm-hmm.
wrong word. He kind of just sneaks his way up. Um, we like to joke
Well,
that's
we'll see if he can survive.
very Scott
Perhaps he
Dixon-esque.
lays back a little.
Um, but Mike Magnuson, 21st, definitely not used to that. Normally finds himself more in the middle of the field. Our field is a little bit smaller than it has been the past few weeks. Only 33 as opposed to, what was it, 46 at one
Mm-hmm.
point?
Yeah.
Um,
But looking up at the top, I see they did get in some late laps at the very end because Verstappen took the pole in by a wide margin here, over half a second, and looks like Stoffmeal did just squeeze in front of Lentini. So Stoffmeal versus Lentini, let's see what they can do. Who can get by Verstappen and
very.
shoot off to the front?
Okay. So as we tee up for this race, allow me to pull up my
I
standings
did
here.
see Christopher Strippen is currently 12th in the standings. Really just has made some mistakes, had some bad luck, but he has that raw power. We know he can take wins. Maybe this will be his breakout race.
Let's hope. Let's hope. In the standings, he is not doing quite as well as I bet he would hope. Down to
Meanwhile, we
12th.
have an M6 and a Bentley on the front row. I don't think anyone's getting around those two if they stay side by side.
We got a note from Max Simmons. Apparently his game is drunk. Apparently he set the fastest lap of the race. So we're just going to go ahead and insert him in post to show that. There you go, Max. Good job. It's always interesting to see when there's a lot of cars starting in a sort of a farther back formation lap because they're all just sitting here around the last few corners of Silverstone.
Let's see, is NSX? Yes,
Yep,
it is. John Barker back in
John
23rd.
Barker, our prophet, our Honda prophet.
All right, we've got two Ferraris in the race in 20th and 22nd. Who's going to come out on top? We'll find out. Both are aggressive drivers, fast but aggressive drivers.
Yeah, it could be really anything could happen between those two. We have quite a lot of
Yeah, let's
loose
see.
cannons over here.
I was gonna say
Jeff,
Mike Magus finds himself in the middle of De Groot, Naku, and Butler's Continental. Those are three cars I would not want to be starting
yeah,
around. They make some pretty aggressive
there's
moves.
probably going to be quite a bit of argy bargy going on. I do not envy him in his current position. So this is similar to all our other races. There is an hour long with mandatory pit stop. That I'm looking at you, Max Simmons, because you always seem to miss that. 1 hour long with a 20-minute pit window centered around the 30. So here we go.
You know what? Since he's behind the two leaders, let's take this first lap with the view of Mr. Lentini.
Mr. Lentini, good idea. Third place in the Porsche. So 1 hour long, round 3 of the ACC ESR GT Series, and we are green flags waving. Go, go, go. Let's have a clean race. As they come into turn 1, Christopher Streppin immediately gets the
Ooh,
run off
looking
of
good.
Stoffmeal. Looks like the pack is keeping fairly clean.
Oh, Stoffmill, he needs to get by Verstappen here to
Oh
get away
no!
from Lentini.
He can't figure it out. That Bentley is just too fast in a straight line.
Jeff, by the way, up in fourth, pressing for the lead. Nice
Yeah,
job.
Jeff is one of those loose cannons I was talking about earlier. He can do some astonishing racing when he applies himself, but that doesn't happen all of the time.
It's looking pretty clean. It's spread out back there, so there might have been a little scuffle, but I'm not seeing any major blocks of cars behind like we saw at Spa.
Seems like it. We've got a few stragglers in the back, but not many.
Lentini and Stoffmill, here we go.
With Verstappen pulling a commanding lead over just the first half of the lap. That
A little action going on in the back. I think that was Benvenuti pulling out alongside
certainly
Higgs.
seems like it. And Vic Nash in the number 104 McLaren already getting a drive-through penalty.
Oh, this is fascinating. Stoffmill cannot really attack and try and catch up to Verstappen. He's firmly on the defense here.
And Lentini seems to be having his nose squarely in Stoffmill's business.
I am sure Verstappen is just loving this. He is gonna get away while these two fight.
He certainly picked the right car. The Bentley is no stranger to dominating in the straights. And with Silverstone being basically a bunch of straights punctuated by some turns, he can really stretch its legs. And I mean, we've seen him put an astonishing amount of time between him just in one lap. Look at that. Over
2 minutes in, and I have a feeling this race is going to just fly by.
I agree. I agree. I would say he's got maybe half a second, maybe a whole second. There's someone in the pits already.
Oh, there's Jeff.
Jeff is having a look. And we can see the...
I'm sure that's what Stoffmill wants now. He needs Jeff up on Lentini's
We can
tail.
see the weaknesses of the BMW M6 GT3 come into play here. Not very strong in the straights. The Porsche is not either, but it has a little more competence. Ooh, Lentini gets a little bit sideways, but holds it in. So now we even see Albert Arjona kind of breathing down Jeff's neck. So you've got a train of Porsches behind this poor BMW of Mike Stoffmill.
Let's see. The highlight reel is just lit up. I'm sure there was plenty at the opening turn. Let's go back and take a look at what we can see here. Alright, there was some confusion coming up to the line. Yeah, just cars bumping 6 wide. But not too much. Nothing I can see.
Lentini makes a little bit of a peak. But Stoffmill is good at making cars wide, and that BMW is already very wide to speak. I mean, wide already. So, it's not exactly a difficult task. Oh, makes a move. Are we gonna maybe see a pass? It does not exactly look like it. Oh, yes, so Lentini is able to get a run. I don't know which exactly turn that is, but... Oh, but no, Stoffmill closes the door once more.
Yeah, going back and looking over the start, it looks like it was pretty clean. No major incidents. A lot of bumping and banging, but no one went around, so props to our drivers.
You can't say that happens every single time, so it's refreshing when it actually does. So as they come into... Ooh, that's going to be tight. As they enter Maggots, we still see Lentini struggling to get by Stoffmill. The battle is going to be really between Lentini and himself. How badly does he want to push past? And
Mike Stoffmill, the moving roadblock, just always slowing down people.
Yeah, that's... I'm not sure how true that is, but we'll just take it at face value. So it's all about how badly Lentini wants to become first place versus how badly he just wants to be by Stoffmill, because Lentini's still got a very comfortable lead to Verstappen. They both do when it comes to championship points. They both have well over 70 points between them. Oh, he's making it. Nope, he decides against it. But you can see just by his movements that Maxi Lentini is antsy. He wants to be out from behind this BMW.
Oh, showing here on the replay, Simeon Naku and Hughes.
Oh, Martinez! Oh, Maxi Lentini gets spun by Jeff.
Oh no!
Oh no! Jeff got too late under brakes as they find themselves in 5th and 6th. Matt Higgs making an attempt to get around him, seeing the opportunity, gets a little bit of a bump from Lentini. And now Higgs is battling Jeff, but now they've caused a huge roadblock. Benvenuti and Andy Long. That's Enzo Benvenuti and Andy Long. And now Jeff is back in that mix, and Matt Higgs is now fighting the hard fight. as Max Lentini tries to pick up the pieces. Now in fourth, he actually didn't lose too much time from that, but purely, well, he didn't lose too many spots, rather. But that's mainly due to...
What a mess.
That was all on Jeff, from what I could see.
Yep, definitely. The replay showed that loud and clear.
So now...
Well, with, I was going to say, with Lentini off his tail, Stoffel can really starting attacking. And let's see if he can catch up to Verstappen.
Yeah, if we have a look, we can see there's quite a gap between Stoffmeal, Arjona, and Lentini. A few seconds if we take a look at the timing sheet. Yeah, there's over 7 seconds. I would say over 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, while that was not nearly as bad as it could have been, let's be honest. That worked actually pretty well. Compared to what it could have been. Lentini's got quite a bit of work to do, and while he might have the pace, he's gonna have to... And see, this is where we see Lentini also struggle a little bit, like we saw in Spa many times. He's very fast, but he sometimes struggles to control himself as Jeff goes wide on, I believe that was... I don't know what turn that was. I believe that was Woodcote, but I can't say.
Riding on board back here with Javier. Sitting in, I believe this is 24th. This has had a pretty quiet race so far. Although it's been a good race so far. Finally, for the Magnussen Hutchison team, looks like they're running, what is this, 15th and about 20 seconds.
It certainly looks like it. It made
so
up quite a few places already.
Nice to see for once. Well, we got what, 52 minutes to go.
Ooh,
and Lentini, he's in fourth place,
Burke.
and he's shown
Leonard
some of the
Burke
best.
with a hard DQ.
Yeah.
I don't know what he had to do to get disqualified. We haven't seen a single person do that before, but what a shame.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, Christoph Verstappen. Oh, we have an accident, looks like. Or is that... No, he's not in the pits. What happened there?
I am seeing, let's see, accident with Wesley Stokes. What do we have?
Maybe we might have some server issues. I see cars all over the place.
It looks all good for me. Oh, nothing with Stokes.
So Christoph is still making time on Mike Stoffmeal.
Oh! Watching here on the replay, looks like, I believe that was Schirnthaner, got into the back of Taylor and just sent him straight into a wall. Not good at all.
Not a good look. So now the question is, how much is Stoffmeal going to put pressure on Verstappen? We've seen during the beginning that he is struggling, probably due to that BMW not being the fastest in a straight line and the Bentley being just an absolute monster. But maybe it was possible that he was just playing it safe at the beginning. We can't say for certain. As he jumped back into the field with Joe in Alaska. The number 21 Mercedes. At the back of the field that originally, or the back of the pack that originally used to contain Jeff. Jeff has continued his fall from grace. Now he's now sitting 9th place, battling with Glenn Price, who has actually started to see a little bit of luck. I mean, I won't jinx him too much. I mean, knock on wood, but he seems like he hasn't gone absolutely demolished yet, so that's good. Although Jeff making a pass attempt as they enter Brooklands.
Watching Perez Torres complete a nice pass on Hutchison.
Very nice. So they take another look at Lentini.
All right.
So Lentini's made his way by Albert Arjona.
Okay, up to 3rd.
So he's back where he was position-wise. However, let's see where how much he has to go in timing. Down to 6 seconds, so he's making some good time.
Ooh, looks like Stoffmeal's maybe catching Verstappen a little bit.
Verstappen still has almost 3 seconds.
2 seconds.
But it's not impossible.
Alright, good time to kind of run through the field. What do we have here? We got 1 second. We have Christoph Streppen up front, Mike Stoffmeal in second, Lentini in third. Well covered that. Arjona, Higgs, Benvenuti, kind of quiet race back in 6th place. Long Price, Jeff. We've seen their issues. Well, issues for one of them, anyways. Nolasco sitting in 10th place. Eugeni in 11th. Butler. All right, he's up to
I
12th.
was
He
gonna say,
started
wasn't
back
he
around
over around
20th, if I
22nd?
remember right. Butler and Magus were both back there in like 21st, 22nd. They're now in
Very
12th and
nice.
13th. Very nice for those two. Stokes in 14th. He's had a bit of he's had some issues, I think, on both ends of his car, getting hit and being the one hitting the other. It's been a
Probably a
little
little revenge
rough.
for the
What do we
server
have here?
incidents.
Yes. After that, we've got Simmons in 15th making his way up. Same with DeGroot. So those guys have gained a few positions from the start. Castaño Muniz 17th. Watt in 18th. Barker back in 19th. And Toledo in 20th.
Very good, very good.
All right.
I've noted I saw Max Simmons started 14th. However, he had a little bit of an incident at the beginning and was down in 20th. He kind of made his way back up. Same kind of applies to DeGroat. Didn't he start around 19th, I believe? I can't exactly remember that. So,
Reading with DeGroat here. He is all over the back of someone in front of him.
that would
I
be
can't tell
Max
who that
Simmons.
is. That's Simmons.
So Simmons continues his charge up the field. Hope he remembers the pit. We've had issues with that in the past. Even now, we can see a little bit of the traces of some of the issues that were causing our server outages earlier. You guys don't, I mean, the audience, you didn't see it, but we had to restart the server 3 times because there were issues related to it. We were not entirely sure. There are still traces of that floating around. Hopefully it stays good, but I see no reason why it shouldn't. So after absorbing his compatriot, what was his name? Di Gregorio. DeGroat seems to have acquired quite a good run. He's now solidly mid-pack.
Okay, so the gap from Verstappen to Stoffmeal holding steady at 3 seconds. Lentini has taken about half a second out of both of them. In fact, he's taken about a full second out of both of them at this point.
We can see the gap between Arjona and Lantini has widened considerably.
So Lentini is a coming.
So Stoffmeal is only about 5 seconds. He was 6.5 not too long ago.
Still got 46 minutes. You know, that spin kind of recovered, held his ground. It's the championship drive we're looking at here. Could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, we can even see on the timing. Mike Stoffmeal's most recent lap was a 1:59.5, similar to Arjona's, while Lentini's a 1:58.6. So, you know, about 7/10 faster. We might.
Yeah, all the way down to 4.7 seconds between them now. Well, 5.2.
Well,
It's jumping
yeah,
around a
that's
bit,
not
but
100%.
he's coming fast.
See, now here's where Lentini is both at his best and his worst. We've seen him put down some astonishing times, but ends up not able to hold on to it. You know, the candle that burns twice as bright lasts twice as long, or lasts half as long rather.
Like Higgs has Benvenuti, Long, and Price right on his
Just
tail.
popping back to see them. So making the best out of the incident that caused Lentini and Jeff to fall back a little bit. Matt Higgs is now in 5th place.
Although Jeff is at the back of this field, and you know he's working his way forward.
Well, he's
at least regained. He's caught up in the pack.
Well,
Let's see what pace he has.
He hasn't. He's been battling with Price for the last few laps. He's tried to make a number of passes, but it hasn't worked out. Always.
Oh, he is all over the back. Almost made contact with Price.
So one thing about Jeff that I've noticed at least is that he's very eager, very twitchy, very eager to make moves, which can be good if you can make those moves happen, but it can also.
Oh, is he gonna go down the
He's gonna
inside?
try. No.
No. This was a popular passing
Oh.
place in when NSU's ran here recently.
Trying to get that cut back on Glenn. They're so close. It's making me nervous.
I was gonna say, and these two are losing contact with the rest just because they're fighting so hard amongst each
Yeah,
other.
so Matt Higgs and Enzo Benvenuti and Andy Long have all. Oh no, Glenn Price!
Oh no!
Oh,
No!
commentator's curse. I did. Oh man,
Oh, not Price
that's
again!
his fourth major takeout in the last 3 races.
He did manage to do a nice little 360 no scope and keep
Now
going.
finding his way
So
to 13th
you know,
place
could have been
or
worse. It
12th
has been
place
worse for him
behind.
in the past. He avoided any contact
It's
with the
true. It's
wall.
true. That was a very graceful recovery.
All right, let's go back and watch a replay of that. I believe Jeff was
It
right
was
on his
another incident by
tail,
Jeff.
and yep. Take a look. Nope. Replay cameras did not capture that, but I think we saw what happened. Jeff was right on his tail, like on his bumper, and unfortunately,
Yeah, that.
Price just broke a little sooner than he was expecting, and much to the detriment of
That was
Price.
just a little bit of a boneheaded maneuver by Jeff. And where did he even go? Oh no, wait, never mind. We're too far back now.
I have to imagine the stewards are going to take a look at that, and you got to be thinking Jeff's going to get some sort of
Well, it's his
penalties
second
here.
incident of this race. He took not only is he taking out Price, but also Lantini. Speaking of which, let's hop up there and see what's happening.
Yep, looks like they are all. Lantini's taking a couple tenths out from
So
where we saw them last. Otherwise, it's pretty much the
now
same
down
between
to
the top
4.5
three.
seconds, debatably, as they round the last corner. Mike Stalvin putting a respectable 158.86 on the board. Although Lantini puts down to
Just
what?
as I turned to watch Barker and Javier Perez Torres, it was those two, and I think Toledo. They went 3 wide. Let's go back here and watch a little
All
replay
right.
of this. Well, unfortunately, the camera picks up on the wrong person.
John Barker and that Jensen Team Rocket Acura NSX, or sorry, Honda NSX. So Max Simmons has picked up a place and is now battling with Mike Magus. If we could see.
I think you're looking at the wrong person because I am following Stokes here, and he is right behind Simmons.
Well, Simmons was in 15th place. Oh, okay. Whoops. I may have misspoke a little bit. He's still in.
Magus is pretty well clear of these guys. In fact, he's now right behind Price.
We're going to see how Price and Magus compare.
Yes, unfortunately, Magus and Price have very similar liveries.
Magus and Price don't have very similar liveries.
Magus and Simmons. I mean,
Okay.
what happened with What and Esh? I thought these two were up fighting in the top 10 earlier.
I don't believe so.
They're in 18th and 19th. They definitely qualified up around there.
Mika White, as one of our newcomers to this series, has proven to be a pretty solid racer. Board is a little bit on the overbold, but that is not exactly to be unexpected when in a newer entrant. Had some very good racing with the likes of, I believe, Esh as well. Definitely with Glenn Price, who's now up in 12th. And if I'm not mistaken, a little bit of Max Simmons as well. Oh, we have a car accident. Who is that? Is that, looks like someone got involved with DeGroat? It was Wesley Stokes.
Stokes. All right, let's go back and take a look, see if we can find what happened. No, No, nothing with Stokes.
Well, I'm not sure who that was then. It was an Aston Martin of some sort, I believe. Well, it might have something to do with Doug DeGroat, because Doug has found himself in the pits now. Although, no, that could just be because the pit window is now open, so I'm not sure.
I think he just dove in there pretty early.
Let's check in on the progress of Lentini. Not really making any progress on the stop mill in the last lap.
Oh, here we go. Riding with Long, chasing after Higgs, who is hot on the tail of Benvenuti. Higgs did not get a run out of that last sector at all.
He's now in an Aston Martin sandwich.
I would like to be in one of those.
That can be arranged, I think.
Ooh, we've got Mika Watt trying to go around the outside of Finish.
Yeah, last we checked on them, they were having quite an interesting battle. Back and forth a bit. The Lexus and the Porsche being very well matched in these racing conditions.
Got two good fights going on at the moment. Watching both Higgs and Mika Watt. See who blinks first and goes into the pits.
Who does? Oh, see who blinks.
We'll find out.
Joe Nolasco, 30-second stop and go penalty. No doubt that had to do with some pit lane shenanigans it usually does. Looks like Max Simmons has found his way up into 11th place. What?
But
That's
will
the big
he
question.
pit this time? He's managed to, but he always goes till the very last moment.
Javier Muniz. Well, it ended up working out for him last race. Javier Muniz is hot on his tail, but he's now catching Mike Magus. How is that race doing? How is he doing in relation to Price? Looks like he's lost quite a bit of ground.
On the other Javier watch, Perez Torres up in 18th. Not only has he managed to stay in the race,
Yeah,
but sitting
nice.
in 18th. Very nice.
Well, what did he start? I think it was 22nd. He was in the 20s.
It was like mid-20s, 24th or something. He managed to avoid trouble today. Alright, let's see. Verstappen is 3.7 seconds ahead of Stoffel. That's come down a few tenths. Lentini is another 7.3 back, so that's pretty much stabilized between those top three. In fact, it looks like Verstappen is pulled out
Javier
maybe
Muniz.
a tenth or so.
Whoa, oh no, that might have been a server issue. Well, looks.
What? No.
Oh my. Okay, we're. Oh wow. Maximus Plaza near the crowd. Hundreds are dead. Killed on instantly. Oh no! What are you? All the humanity.
No. It's okay, as you can see, there's actually no one in the stands
well,
because
thank
of
God.
social distancing.
Hopefully
so
the EMTs can get to Max Simmons quickly. Oh no, we were worried about this.
Well, I can tell you, it is a-okay for the rest
okay.
of
Well,
us.
yeah. Broadcasting.
No, it's not Christoph
Oh,
Verstappen. Oh wait, he's back. This is not looking good, folks. Verstappen is plowing into the ground and has disappeared. It
Uh-oh.
appears everyone has.
He's
Yes,
he's left to join his native mole people.
folks, we have lost connection here.
Okay, well we've had this issue before. I mean today,
Well,
and also
unfortunately, it's a little.
the final round of season 2 also. I'm actually curious. Does the replay feature work? Yeah, it does. Okay, so let's watch some replays. Oh nope, we can't.
Is
Nope, we can only watch this one replay. What if we go back a minute? No. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute, please. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we never left. What are you talking about? You can't prove anything.
I mean, yeah, you might as well just cut out that gap. Come back now.
Well, I'm going to.
All right,
Oh,
so
I'm gonna keep in the moment where Maximus destroys the grandstands. Okay, we are back with 32 minutes remaining. Looks like it was just us.
what is going on with Higgs? Just rejoined to watch him leaving the pits, and okay, now he's up to speed. He was going really slow out of the pit exit for a while there. Higgs rejoins right in front of Castagna Muniz back in 19th.
So Mike Stoffmeal
He is pitting, yes.
is in the pits.
Griffin up front, Stoffmeal back in third. All right.
Valentini is now making his way through some back markers, it appears. We're just gonna look at some grass. Ah, there we go. Race car. This appears to be Mika what in front of him? Yep.
Stoffmeal.
So it looks like Muniz has put quite some time in between him and Mika. Not entirely sure what happened there. So whether it be for pitting reasons or what, Matt Higgs is now in 20th place.
Yes, he pitted. We saw that.
Okay, I didn't see that. Oh, you just mentioned it though.
Yep, he was on the first in of the main. Alright, so Verstappen, Lentini have not pitted yet. Where
Probably due to pitting
is
reasons.
Stoffmeal?
Max Simmons has found his way past Mike Magus. And with quite a considerable margin, so I wonder if Magus had an accident of some sort. Looks like Biino, Barker, and Schoenthaner are pitting now as well. You know, I'm gonna make a post on the ACC forums. Every time I forget how absolutely much we're missing out on because we don't have the gaps in this broadcast view. I don't understand why they got rid of it, and I really want it back.
Alright, where is Lentini and Verstappen? Have either of those two pitted yet?
Yep, they're all pitting.
I
Verstappen, Valentini, Arjona, and
am
Ben Brady
riding
are all
here
pitting.
with Stoffmeal.
Okay. Where is Stoff? Just chilling out. I'm coming to say hi to Andy Anderson, who has pulled through a pretty good race so far, 9th place. Well, that's probably due to pitting.
Verstappen is leaving the pits. Ooh, where's he gonna come out relative to Stoffmeal?
Ahead by a considerable margin. I think. I can't even see him. Where is he?
And there it looks like that is Lentini, I believe.
What am I looking at?
Right.
Director, what are you doing, man? Cameraman, what do he pay you for? See, he's got quite a bit of time between him and Stockmill.
I don't believe so. In fact, let's take a look at the gaps. He is 2.6 seconds behind Stoffmill now. Yes, he has made up about a second and a half under pits.
What am I looking at then? Okay.
You're looking at Lentini.
No, I know. Before that, I couldn't even see Verstappen and Stockmill in the same frame.
So, everyone survives pit stops.
I don't know what you're talking about. That looks like way more than 2.5 seconds.
What? No, from Stoffmill to Lentini.
Oh, I was talking about Verstappen.
No.
So, okay, oh yeah, so Lentini has made, oh, we're getting really squirrely under braking.
Oh, I was gonna say,
saving
he's
it,
making
but
up more
losing some
time, but
time.
then he does that.
So lost about a second and a half, but that's better than losing it. So now I got about 6.5 seconds.
So we have Long, Eugenie, and Simmons up front, having not pitted.
Although I don't think that's right. That doesn't seem right. You know, whatever the case. See, there we see sort of Lentini's both the greatest strength and worst greatest strength and worst weakness. Meanwhile, we find Max Simmons up in 3rd place. Again, reaping the full benefits of being one of the last people to pit. Speaking of our newcomers, I don't see any of the people who I was told were going to be new entrants.
Nope.
Oh well.
None of them.
Glad I made a note of that in the beginning.
Let's see, Mr. Price running in 20th at the moment, having pitted.
So far, we've only been able to see him have one incident. That's a net gain, I suppose, unfortunately. Ooh, Max Simmons getting a little bit unstable as he exits one of these corners. Right before the hanger straight.
In 10th. Torres running in 9th. Hasn't pitted yet.
As Max Simmons enters the Wellington straight. Oh, he flies away! Fly! Oh, no, we're good.
Nope.
We're good. We're good. Oh, no, he's a mole person again. Oh, no.
It looks like your hosts have been disconnected.
It appears so.
Something with a server side, or just the spectator is not working.
I have no doubt it's spectator related. Okay.
Regardless, let's see. Am watching Javier Perez Torres in 9th. Currently going in the pits. Let's see where he comes out. For all this, I think he was about 18th, so let's see if he made up any ground. Having a very solid day.
So now Andy Long in first is enjoying a comfortable lead for the moment.
Getting a nice shot from the helicopter of Higgs here as he flies by a lap car. Javier Perez Torres, anyways, let's see. He is back in, it looks like
18th?
18th with Hutchison right behind him. Alright, that is where the two of them
20th. So, what am I looking at again?
Is
Oh, that's
jumping
there
around.
you go.
Yep, it looks like 20th. Okay. Although a few guys still have not pitted up front, so things have not totally shaken out. But it looks like Perez, Torres, and Hutchison picking up right where they left off.
Yep.
Right with Hutchison here.
Something has caused Glenn Price to fall down to 17th place. What happened there?
Oh. This fight, Javier does have slightly newer tires, but definitely a bit colder. If Hutchison can take advantage of his warmed up wheels.
Well, and Hutchison is. If there's an Iceman in our midst, it's probably Wayne. He's got the coolest driving demeanor of most of our racers. That's not to say he doesn't make mistakes, but generally can find a way to just outlast the competition. And when you're doing endurance racing, that's all you need sometimes.
There is some cable plugged into the dash from the interior of the car, which sways back and forth with the G-forces as the car moves.
I can only imagine what happened if we put a slinky in one of those.
Alright, how are those gaps looking up front?
What's the Lentini battle looking like?
He is, 8 seconds behind Stoffmeal. I think he had another mistake.
Oh, I would say 11 seconds.
What?
I'd say 11 seconds behind Stoffmeal. He's got Hughes that's 2 seconds in front of him, and then Stoffmeal is 8.5 seconds in front of him.
No, those are not. Those are total gaps. Stoffmeal's 8.1 seconds ahead.
Stoffmeal's 8.3 seconds ahead of Toledo, who is 8.4 seconds ahead of Hughes, who's 1.2 seconds ahead of Lentini.
Those are not intervals. Those are relative timing to the guy you're looking at.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But how does Stoffmeal compare to Verstappen at the moment?
Well, I feel a little dumb, but it's okay because I am.
Meanwhile, back at the fight for 20th, Javier Perez Torres is starting to pull away from Wayne Hutchison quite handily.
So it looks like Andy Long and Max Simmons have both entered the pits. Andy Long just exiting his pits, and Max Simmons falling through the ranks as he waits for
Alright,
tires.
so in the race for the lead, Christopher Streppen is 5 seconds up on Stoffmeal.
He's alright.
Are we going to see our third winner in 3 races?
We might. That'd be exciting. In its current state, Stoffmeal would eke ahead of Lentini by
just barely.
By 7 points. So Lentini's got the drive, no pun intended. However, Lentini has to be careful. It's not that hard to make a mistake and find yourself more positions back. Having 8 seconds to go in only 20 minutes, I would, if I was in his shoes, I would almost just hold the line.
Yep, Lentini has made a few mistakes, but we've really seen the difference just in the gap from the top 3 back to the rest. Even with Lentini's multiple mistakes, it appears very far ahead of 4th place. Jeff aside, he was up there with them, but back to 4th in Arjona, there's a clear gap.
Seems so. It seems so.
Push as he might, Lentini, it looks like even with mistakes, he's not going to fall outside that top 3. It would certainly be great to see Verstappen really start having some consistent finishes up here, work his way back up into that title fight.
Well, yeah, especially because last season it was basically Verstappen, Navone, and someone else who's
Iwanchuk,
Murray Iwanchuk, who are all pretty much ran away with the race once Stoffmeal decided to retire.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Verstappen can get up there. Just the gap he's lost on the first 2 races from a couple poor finishes. He could certainly be right back in it, if Stoffmeal and Lentini have a bad race, but it's going to be tough to see those two have 2 bad races. Well,
yeah,
even if Verstappen wins every race from here on out, I don't know if it's going to be enough if, those two keep getting 2nd and 3rd.
Well, he is 12th, and he has had a substantial penalty in the first race. So, yeah, it'd be hard to say. But it's especially interesting because he only really did bad at Spa. Aside from a penalty at Barcelona, he actually did fairly well.
Hmm. Well, penalty one race, and accident the next race.
It can
Makes
happen.
for a rough season.
Yep.
See if we can find any real fights going on.
Well, Mika, what on
Looks like
pace?
15th and 16th. We've got Stokes and Price close together.
Mika, what on pace to set his fastest lap of the day by almost half a second? But Stokes
Oh,
versus Price.
Price
Price making
looking
a
at the
dive. Oh
inside.
no!
Price,
What was
no.
that? Oh no! Oh, that was not great. Maybe just a little over eager. He lost. He had a net gain of 0 spots, past Stokes, but lost one to Butler. And now Magus is appearing ominously in the background there.
Mm-hmm. If Stokes can get back up there.
So Wesley
Race after
Stokes
Price.
and Mika Watt are within 2 points of each other. So currently Mika has the ability to put their battle in his favor. Max Simmons is currently tied with them as well, so he's gonna build a substantial lead with that. But Muniz is also basically tied with them, so he could put a pretty big dent in their respective battle.
Looks like everyone's pretty well spread out back to the pack, down to 30 cars at this point. Benvenuti, meanwhile, up in 4th place. Very quiet race for Benvenuti. But outside of the top 3, he's proved himself to be the best of the rest today.
It certainly seems like it.
Although, just as I say that, Arjona, all over the back of Benvenuti for that 4th place. He wants to be the best of the rest.
There's a lot of besting going on. Is Sean Kenny in this race?
Kenny is...
I saw him at the beginning.
Possibly
I
dropped.
think he dropped.
Think so.
Ooh, that will not be good. Because Nolasco, even though he's in 26, they're currently 4 points apart. And if they can get, he can get any points out of that. Which you...
Not great on the team side for Kenny and what's his name, Higgly Wiggly.
Higgly Wiggly, indeed.
Not sure if Higgs is driving with a clear view. Last we heard, he had smashed a screen.
Oh yeah, he throw his keyboard?
Something like
Something like
that. He
that.
claims it bounced on the ground and hit the screen.
I don't know.
Highly
That sounds
likely
like fake
story.
news to me. Like I can drop my keyboard right now, it won't bounce up and hit my computer monitor. I mean, maybe it will actually.
Unless he puts his monitors on the floor, perhaps?
Oh yeah, that's a really
If so, that's just pretty stupid. Matt, what
no.
are you
It's
doing?
actually a really
That's
popular
terrible.
strategy. Like right now, I have my monitor underneath my feet. It's so I can have utmost reclinement and comfort. You should try it sometime.
All right. Meanwhile, the up and down man of the day, Jeff, is in 6th. So,
Really?
all
I
right,
just noticed that.
he's made some passes, and he's a little ways behind this group. He's 14 minutes. I don't know if he can catch him, but it looks like he did make his way past Long and Eugeni.
We'll see how that fares with his penalties that I'm fairly confident he's going to get.
And Simmons back in 10th. All right, he did his pit stop, I
Yes,
assume.
he did.
All good. See if Jeff can string together some solid laps here. Catch back up.
Yeah, Jeff has put down some solid laps. He's battling with Vic Nash, who is a lapped car.
Arjona, real close to Benvenuti.
Arjona's been another one of those up and down drivers. He's had some very good laps, but also some very...
Is his teammate Swan in this race?
Yes. Justin Swan, and also... No, I know it. I know who it is. Hold on.
Are we sure? I don't see him anywhere.
Oh, yeah, are you saying, is he still in the race? Oh, I have no clue.
I haven't seen Swan all day. I don't think he started today.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I thought you were meaning is his teammate Justin Swan. His teammates with Justin Swan and I believe Javier Castaño Muniz.
That's right.
Although they're currently at the top of the team ratings, with Arjona's solid finishes overall, and Justin Swan has done a very good job as well. Javier has been chilling out near mid pack, so I'm sure that's appreciated. But they lead with a handy 30-point They lead handily with a 30-point lead to the next team of Maxi Lentini and Finish. So just goes to show that you can consistency really counts in the long run over outright speed.
Got a little battle back here in 27th and 28th. That is... who is this? It's not showing for me. I'll find it.
Vic
That
Nash.
is Vic Nash chasing down John Barker.
Something must have happened to Barker. He was much higher when we saw him in the last few minutes. I wonder what happened.
What happened with Higgs? Earlier he was up there in like 5th place. I know he'd lost one spot, but what brought him back to 10th place?
Maybe pitting?
Did he just have a really bad pit stop? Something.
Oh yeah, because now Max Simmons is breathing down his neck. Looks like he's got some pace too. I wonder if Higgs's car might be slightly damaged, or it could just be Max definitely has newer tires, cleaner tires.
Looks like up front, Stoffmeal is 6 seconds behind for Streppin and 8 ahead of Lentini. Not much happening there. Been a nice dominant race for Streppin. Nice clean race this time. That's good to see. Long all over the back of Jeff. Real close. Got 2 great fights going on here, both Simmons, Higgs, and Long and Jeff.
Yeah, we're now on board with Simmons as he fights Higgs. Looks like the Mercedes is very strong under braking. He's able to get some pretty good time from his counterpart, Italian counterpart.
Wonder if Higgs' tires are starting to fall off. He definitely pitted long before Simmons.
Oh yeah, we can see it through that first turn there. Or not first turn, no, that's one of the last ones.
I don't know where the turns are here. They change where they
start
just constantly.
Now we're going through Maggots and Beckett's. No, that's no, we're not. This is the loop.
No, we're not.
Yeah, they all look the same to me.
They do, and it's just they've changed where the starting line is on this track. It seems like a few times, and which series uses which one. I don't know.
I could have swore I saw the freaking. Oh, I'm looking at an old map too.
Oh, Jeff's taking these curves real slow. Long had to let off the gas, and that actually ends up helping Jeff out. Jeff opens up a bit of a gap over Long.
So for standings, Higgs and Simmons aren't even competing with each other that much. They only have 10 points between them. So you see, Simmons has 55 points and is tied with Stokes, versus Higgs has 65 points. So how's the battle between Javier and Wayne Hutchison going? There is none.
Nope, Javier has cleared him.
Now looking at Mike Stoffmeal.
Ah, yes, tracking down Stoffmeal.
Looks like there's been some confusion with Barker falling through the ranks. Down to 27th place. Wonder what happened there. The NSX is perhaps not very well suited to this track, but he lost a lot of time and not very much time, I suppose. Meanwhile, Christopher Streppen sitting happily with a nice, healthy lead. Mike Stoffmeal is almost 8 seconds back, and Lentini almost 13.
So Benvenuti is broken free of Verona, and Jeff is not totally free of Long. Although there is some lap traffic right in front of Jeff.
I was going to say, who is that? It is...
It looks like Nolasco.
John Nolasco. Oh! Looks like Jeff gave him a little bit of a punt.
What is going on?
Is that what happened? Well, or maybe just
sure
let
what
off. He could have
there
just let
exactly.
off. No naughty boy stamp this time, I think.
Treading on dangerously naughty ground.
Well, he's already going to get a couple, I know that.
But that whole little shenanigan did bring Long right up to his bumper.
He thought he had escaped, but there's no escaping the long arm of the Long. I'm sorry, I'll escort myself out.
Like that Porsche gets a real nice run out of the turn. Long took a bit wider exit there. I thought he was going to get a run out of the turn, but instead Jeff just pulls away.
It seems so.
Perhaps Long simply isn't pressing the pedal down all the way. If that is the case, I would advise he change it.
Get a new pedal. So as we enter the last 5 minutes of this race, check in at Lentini. 6 seconds behind Stoffmeal. Verstappen still is got a quite healthy lead. Battles of note. And Jeff and Long.
Ooh, Long had to look around the outside there a little bit.
I got sort of the tail end of that.
Alright, well, you stick with that. I'm going to go on board with Simmons, who is all over the back. He's looking up the inside of Higgs. Oh, they touch! Higgs comes down on Simmons.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you know we're going to need to see a quick replay of that.
Oh, Simmons down to 11th as a result of that.
Well, I think that's where he was already.
No, Simmons is going very slow. He might have suffered some damage. He's stopping.
Oh, I wonder what happened.
He's now into 13th. He was in 10th. He hasn't even crossed the timing line. He looks like he had to restart his car, maybe.
You know what? I think he might have been typing a message, if I had to guess.
Let's take a peek, see.
Nope.
Okay.
I checked. Nothing.
Oh,
Oh
what
no!
happened?
Simmons slides again with
Looks like
someone.
the,
That was what, I
No,
think.
not what, who? Oh no, Simmons in 14th now. And it all falls apart at the last minute. Getting passed by Glenn Price as well. What happened?
What has happened up front with Long and Jeff? I see. Something must have got between them because Jeff is pulled away from Long.
Dang it, I'm sorry. I went to look at the Simmons-Higgs battle and I missed it. I'm a failure.
Well, Higgs escapes in 9th, although we'll see what the stewards say about that. He did chop down on Simmons a bit.
My naughty boy stamp is ready. So something has befallen Doug DeGroat to put him in 23rd place.
Butler's now on the back of Simmons, who is... Oh, what is going on? Simmons, he is off the pace terribly. I don't know if he took damage or what.
Well, he definitely took what? Hey. We take a peek at Javier Perez Torres. Glad to have him back, definitely.
Dreppen up here. Clean air taking a commanding lead. It's been a great day for him. All out on his own.
Max Simmons fighting
Leads his final
desperately
lap.
with James Butler for 15th place. He's trying to claw back any position he can after that disastrous last lap.
No idea what happened to him there. He was kind of pulling over and going slow.
So with that, our white flags are waving and the time is up. This will be the final lap for anyone who wants to finish the lap, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. Verstappen finishing out his final lap.
Best lap 157.8. That is a scorching lap. Mike Stockman only besting a
Wow, 7/10 off.
158.4.
What was Latiny's best lap? I have to wonder.
157.8, so it's
A little off
a little
Verstappen,
off.
but Verstappen is going to take the best lap.
And the checkered flags are waving. So congrats to all of our drivers. We still have some battles happening. Mike Stoffmeal securing his victory in the championship for now. That will put him I'll put him 8 points above Maxi Lentini. So he'll be in first place.
All right, let's go through a rundown before these guys start dropping out of here as usual. What do we have? Let's see. Rounding out the top 10. If it would let me, it's not.
Christopher Streppin, Mike Stoffmule, Maxi Lentini, Enzo Benvenuti, Albert Arjona, Jeff, who we've never figured out his first name, Andy Long, Javier Eugeni, Matthew Higgs, and Finn Esch for our top 10.
11th, we've got Anderson, Castagna Muniz, Watt, Price, Butler, Simmons, Stokes, Magus, Naku, and Javier Perez Torres in 20th.
Good to see him back. Good to see him back. For our top 24, Wayne Hutchison, Tommaso Biggino, Douglas DeGroat, and Fernando Toledo. I'm about 70% sure.
Yep, below that, finally, we have Mr. Nolasco in 25th, Hughes, Barker, Nash, Sternthonner, and Taylor in 30th. The final of the drivers who finished the race.
So a slightly smaller race this time.
It was we had some great racing, I'd say. You know, it wasn't chaotic. It was very clean from the start. In fact, I'd say it was clean most of the way through the race. There was very few major incidents.
I was just going to say that it was
some very good racing. Lots of passing we saw.
I was just going to say it's probably one of the cleaner races we've ever had in this series, at least. We not too much chaos brewing. Not too many people got penalties. We did have a couple drops. Maybe that'll be elucidated further, but it's not really. It was a pretty good little microclimate we had going on. I'm happy to hear about that. But yeah. So there we go for the championship. We were kind of discussing it ad hoc throughout the race, but Mike Stobmill will hold on to first place with an 8-point lead over Max Valentini. Christoph Verstappen will put some points up on his goal, so he'll probably pass Javier Castagna Muniz and Mika Watt. Maybe Max Simmons, probably, as I think so, and Wesley Stokes. So that could be a pretty good move for him. He could make his way up to even about 7th or 6th, I could say, from 12th. Alberto Hunter will probably maintain 3rd. We're going to have a lot of switching up at the bottom as the results start to come in.
Yes, indeed.
Any case, I was attempting to get an interview with Max Simmons to see if he could comment on what happened on his last couple laps there. He has summarized it as following: easy, I'm stupid, my brain fell out, my driving sucks. So, you heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. Happens to the best of us and the worst. But, you know, that's just the way racing is. That's what happens. Sometimes things don't exactly go... Well, I'd argue a lot of times things don't go exactly the way you want to, or else everyone would be at first place. But that is our 3rd round of the ESR ACC Season 3. Well, it's not invitational anymore, but racing series. It's been an exciting one. If you like what you see, you can find us at esr-race.org, or you can find our Discord in the description below. We're always willing to talk and just chit chat about racing and literally anything else. We'll talk about anything, just like except politics. We usually try to stay away from that. But yeah, feel free to join us there. I've been Cole McRae, and
alongside Ayrton Tobin.
Yep. Hope to see you guys in a couple of weeks, where we will be going to. We'll be going to Zandvoort. Ooh, Circuit Zandvoort in Holland. I think it's the old layout. I actually am.
Oh man, for once I am relieved to be watching a race instead of driving at Zandvoort.
Oh yeah, GT3s at Zandvoort with a huge field will be something else.
Yeah, I've dreaded every time I've gone there in GT3, so I'm happy to be on this end this time.
Indeed. Well, it's been good watching this race. Good to bring this all to you. Hope you can join us next time. And any last words from Mr. Tobin?
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not driving in Zandvoort. Okay, folks, we'll see you there.
All right, bye-bye.